Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Comics de la Morte, episode 55. Welcome to your torment. I'm
Awesome.
This is Jason Alexander, Frog Baker Studios. So,
Hello, y'all. How's it going?
we're finally, I hope everyone had a great Halloween. I had to work the next day at 4 a.m. in the morning, so I didn't stay up late to pass out any candy to kids.
It was fun. Our neighborhood was pretty quiet. Like, we have kids over here, but nobody was out, so it was just a quiet evening. Like, it was pretty cold. It was pretty cold. It's been colder since then, but
here Halloween was like in the 80s and mosquitoes were out. No fun.
Oh, gross. Yeah, no thanks. I ain't getting dressed in polyester to get bit by no mosquitoes.
Right. But so, everyone out there, we're getting ready to start doing like I had planned, is start reviewing issue 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, I think there's 4 issues of Bleen. And I've read it already. And then a while back, before I even interviewed the guy, and Jason, he started reading issue 1. So I'll let you start off.
I'll just start in so here's the disclaimer. You remember when we did Hellraiser and I was like, okay, enough is enough. Like I'm over this.
Yeah.
This showed how good coarse can still be, because it was very raw at times, but it fit the story. I love the artwork.
Oh yeah,
I love the artwork.
Landon did a great job.
It's a very horror style. You know what I mean? Like, it's very dark, but the dark means something. It's not just like filled in black on the page. I really enjoyed the artwork. I felt like it was just unsettling enough to match like going through this insane asylum, and what I liked was the tension and the scary parts meant something, because it actually is what so many people do go through in places
where your mind literally plays off of fears, like I said with
full of people. They try to take advantage of people, and so it like that's. I always say, like, writing is relatability, and like here, like, this is proof positive, because even though this was like way amplified and supernatural, it like tied you to it, because like there's some like wrong stuff that happens in places like that. So, but no, like we can kind of go through the story, but I just wanted to say, I really enjoyed it. Very eerie in a good way. What's going on, Alex? Right? What's going on, man? Yeah. Trivia night. We got to get Maine back on trivia, man. All right? Did you message me or something?
But it's definitely one of those things, like the monster that you see, the monsters that you see in later on the series, they're scary, but like you're saying, is that the most scariest monsters in the world are not supernatural, but they're human beings.
Like that was the thing. It was like that first I don't know if he was a nurse or a doctor. He came across so nice until he got her in the room, and then he just like turned sour, and it was like he started to show his true colors. And then like the banana man, I don't even know where to go from there, man. Like, this was just a very interesting read. I want to get it pulled up on my tablet. Y'all give me 2 seconds, but am I still here? Am I still on?
Yeah.
All right, okay. I didn't know if I kicked off or you kicked off, but I was trying to keep going. But man, I really enjoyed this book. Not a book that I would have just chosen to pick up, but I'm glad that I've started to read it now. It was a really good read, and it felt I felt like it was going to be like 5 pages, but it was like it was full,
thank you,
and it was
thank
good.
you, Landon, for sending us for free.
Yeah, man, that's really awesome. Like, we'll definitely support it for sure.
Out to us,
Yeah.
It's really great people reaching out to us, like wanting us to review their book for free and giving us it for free, because both of us who are creators, we understand how much time and blood and sweat and tears we put into stuff like this.
Right.
And you want to make money off of it.
Yeah, and I definitely do like try to go back and like even these books that we get to read, I do like try to go back and make sure I'm showing some love to the artist, because like one of my favorite books came out of us getting a review copy in Dinosaurs versus Mars Bots, and like now Gary's a regular on the show, and like his books are awesome, and it's like not because he's a friend of the show or a friend of ours, but like we got introduced to him through his work because he let us review it, and like it was so awesome. So no, Landon, like thank you for sharing you guys' book with us. Like it was super awesome, and I personally try to be honest when I review. I know Ronnie does too, but like if we don't, like I enjoyed this book, and it was not a book that I would have picked up, but I'm definitely 1,000% behind this book, and I can't wait to see where it goes. And I would highly advise people to pick up the first copy of this book, because it's not,
and I'm not
nothing of what I expected.
I'm not going to give my rating yet, but it's one of those things that I could tell with horror. Yes, you have like you have DC, you have comics, you have all those companies, and American Vampire was great, like the first issue or the first volume, but it seems like the indie creators of horror, for whatever reason, they're not holding back, and they're not like standing, like writing and drawing in a typical style that you would see in the mainstream, and that's why the indies are doing so much. You're
right,
better,
Ronnie, but it's not they.
Yeah,
it's not they, Ronnie. It's us.
It's us
exactly. Too, man.
Yeah.
Damn it, like. We like that's like when I look at this black and white, like I thought about what me and Aaron did. Like me and Aaron did black and white. Good to see you too, Alex, man. Thanks for hanging out. You're awesome. But it was like when there's so many different ways to do black and white. Like we did.
Oh yeah.
Uzumaki. Gary's book was black and white. Scott's book was black and white. Like 90% of the books we've read are black and white, or some stylized version of black and white, like what Geronimo used with Blood Realm, and like
and I'll show one of my pages where I had color, but there was black and white elements in that page that I posted.
Yeah, it was like what me and Aaron did in the minis was black and white. Gary's black and white. Like this book is black and white, but it's completely different than all of those too. You know what I mean? Like just because you're using legit 2 colors and sometimes grayscale doesn't mean that you're trapped. Like there's so many ways to do it, and like he hit it out of the park his way. Like exactly. I gotta say, like we aren't gonna do number ratings yet, but no, this is a good one, y'all. Like I'm here for it for sure.
Yeah, and
I feel like I talked enough
with the writer. No, it's all right. It's like I like how the writer, instead of like going with like an adult, you went with the child, because a lot of this story plays off of us as a child, where we'll take an object and take that object and almost make it into a monster. You'll see like
for sure.
A coat on a chair, and then it'll cast a shadow. So it definitely plays off of that type of monster and horror feel to it. And I think even Stephen King talks about it when he's writing his horror. Sometimes you need to write horror where it's going to be simple, that a child could understand, and you can really see that in this writing.
Well, you have to that's what Frank. That's where we're all afraid of people. That's where we're all afraid. Like that's where we start to like feel fear for the first time as kids. And like to write, like you have to like tap into those like old fears, or like those natural fears, like to grab people sometimes. and like you said, like using a younger main character in this book. I think the writer's name is Jon Colunga. Yeah, like he nailed it. Like the mood was established. Like again, like all the good ones that we've done, Ronnie. We've always said you could read the book without words, but you could also enjoy the book without pictures. And like the writing definitely, like, you know, Landon's art stands out, but
for sure
the writing is there with it the whole way. And it's just like they work in tandem to like create this like just off dark world, you know?
And definitely, what was I going to say? I'm going to show some pictures because just like I told Landon, we're not going to show the whole book because it is an indie comic and he is trying to make money off of it. So we'll just show yeah, I got the links down there. I'm just going to show a couple pages and just great work. Let me see. There it is. Yeah, I really like how he did with the ink work with the vehicle, and then you have like that big shot of the asylum.
Yeah, right where it says like Maber Hills right across the top. Like it just, there's motion to it. Like you could almost visualize like gliding through that gateway and going into the sanitarium. It's just such an awesome page. Like every panel is like so dense. I guess that's the best word for it. It's just dense. You know, it's awesome. Like there's a lot of characters on each page. You know, like I guess here I go being old man Foggy again, but the next page, like the next few pages, where he starts to really like go with the checkerboard floor. Man, like I remember days where my mom would work late and she had the room with cable in it, and I would go in her room and it would be like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and MTV would start showing like Eon Flux and those like the Max, and that kid that had the head that would open up, he had the alien in his head. Like it was just like these weird cartoons that were not Nickelodeon cartoons, but the artwork was just a little bit off. And then like going into Beavis and Butthead. And that's what this book reminded me of. Yeah, like that's what this book reminded me of. Like it was just like I said when we talked the other day, like
we talked about
different.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I said like when we talked about the other day when we were talking about this book, I was like, it's just different.
Yeah. But I definitely love like his facial features that he approaches for like the people that work there, because you really see how sinister they are. Like this man just talking here, like you could tell that there's something creepy about him. And
just a minute,
just pan over to Bleen, you know, just great work.
Yeah, through and through, like the art, the facials and the art, like just really started to dominate this story, like from about this point, like where she meets the other characters that are in the sanitarium with her, and like as she goes into her room and as she starts to see like there's really no safe caregivers in this place, it seems, and it's like away it goes from there. Like the book is so fast paced. I feel like we're talking about it as fast as the book went. I don't, you know, I want to kind of take my time through the story, but it's just, it was a fun story. I really enjoyed it. It was like a scary, like a haunted hayride.
Yeah, you definitely, the first issue, you know, it wanted to establish the characters as like, okay, here's the other kids that are at the asylum, and here's all the people that work here. And it's like, okay, like not go into detail about who's who, but it's like what you would think if you took a not just a child to asylum, but if you took like your parent to a nursing home, it's like, okay, is my
Yeah,
is my family member going to be emotionally harmed? Are they going to be physically harmed? Are they going to be sexually harmed? And this book literally covers like different elements of that type of fear, you know.
totally. Yep. No, it just tapped right in to like lock you in to being uncomfortable for the right reasons.
Yeah. And as it says in the description there, you know, this girl has a vivid imagination where she has monsters, and if she lets those monsters out, they're gonna get revenge on the people who hurt her. And just some of those monsters are just some really great designs as itself.
You know what this
Like
book? Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead, Ronnie. I'm sorry. No, no, no. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, just like the one on the front cover, the monster that has the sack for the head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, like this book, like as it went on, and I'm not gonna say much because I don't want to get too far ahead in the story. But as this book like started to like really like to take you where it was going, it felt a lot like after you watch Fight Club the second time.
Yeah.
You know, where you start to know like, okay, where does this go off the rails? Like, you know, this story is off the rails from the beginning, but it's like a very horror version of Fight Club.
Yeah.
But I loved it. Like, I loved where it went. Like, and I loved why it went there. Like, just kind of like an R-rated Venom story. You know, like you get to support like somebody letting the dark out because this place deserves it.
Let's see.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like sometimes places deserve it. Sometimes places deserve to have the dark let out on them.
Mm-hmm. And I know Landon, he showed this image on the stream, so I'm gonna show it as well because it's just a great monster design. And not just that, I know how Landon said that the writer, he came up with the concept, but it's one of those things Landon took it and probably made it into his own way too. And I just love the angle when you first get the view of this monster. So I'm gonna share that right now.
Awesome.
Let's see. I'm just going to mix in this covered in brush. Maybe a small game. Weeds and stuff. Look at that right there.
That
I mean, not just great artwork and terrifying, but it's a great angle, and it's a pain in the ass because I've done it before. Literally having to even if it's not digital, I know this guy does it hand draws this stuff.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like
that
to
is
do
so
a lot of
awesome.
visual, but doing a freak like the monster, yes, it's detailed, but I hate checkered floors. There's such
there's so much going on that could go off the rails.
Yeah.
Like with anybody. But like it's all so tight. Like these two, the checkerboard floor is so good throughout every page that it's there.
Well, first off, hey Frank, how's it going? And no, it is Landon is the artist. Jon
Colunga. Jon Colunga wrote it.
Is the writer. They were friends for a long time before they worked on this. So
Ronnie got to have Landon on. I missed the episode, but it was good. It was a good listen.
Yeah, it was a good interview. I liked it a lot.
It definitely was.
Good guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll let you say what you want to say about this page.
No, I was just gonna say, like, just to kind of piggyback on what you were saying, like, number one, nothing on this page is easy. And he nailed it all. But this stack of monster, that is not it's just not easy to draw. Like, I can definitely appreciate a page like this, because this would be a huge challenge, and it just like it paid off. The work paid off.
It's the perspective.
Yeah,
like drawing at that angle.
Yeah, because she's afraid on her face, but she can't even see what we see. You know.
Yep. Good stuff. Do you have a image that, or do you have a page that you really want to talk about that you like?
This was the one. Like the checkerboard floor throughout the whole thing, I thought was awesome. Like it caught my eye every single time. But no, like that is in a book full of like A++ art. Like that is the best. That like how we do it for every book. Like if there's a poster that exists, this is the one you want for this book.
I got another one that's actually that would make a great poster.
Yeah.
And how they said it was like almost like in the story 80s vibes. This one definitely reminds me of like something that you would see like on a Nightmare on Elm Street poster. I think you know the one I'm talking about.
Oh, was this the shadow one?
Nope.
Towards the end?
No, it's... Let me see if I can get a good view at it. The one where he's hovering over the bed.
Frank. We all will one day if we want to. Sometimes you just work around. Sometimes you just gotta work around it.
Right.
Skip it. Go back to it later.
Let me see.
All right, let's see what Ronnie's
that one
posting.
where he's
okay, yep.
Yeah, like hovering over the bed. One. Like that's crap. That's a really good one. Like literally you see his whole body and you see his giant claws and you see how like skinny and deformed his body is, but she can't do nothing but like look upon him, and you don't know if there's drool or anything coming out of his mouth, but yeah, just great angles.
Right. Yeah. No, it was an awesome page. There was another page towards the end that I really got a kick out of, where this monster was kind of almost sprawled out over the ceiling, and it looked like a shadow being cast. Just such a it was a really solid book, guys. It's worth the price of admission for both parts. Like the art will get your attention, but once you read it, like like it's just this solid book. It's solid.
Yeah. And it's
you found another real one, Ronnie.
Yeah. No. Someone found us.
No, that's what I'm saying. You got somebody's attention.
Right.
Book one. Like this awesome.
Yeah.
Book. But this goes on the list for sure.
Yeah. But this episode is probably not going to be too long because, you could only talk so much without someone show so much of the book.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're trying to respect Landon's wish. But, it's fine. If we need to do like 30-minute episodes for all 4 issues, it's fine. But,
I think they all deserve their own episode for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I would definitely, like, after reading this first one, what would you rate it as?
Am I breaking up or are you breaking up?
No. What would you rate this book? Can you hear me?
I would give it I can hear you now. I give it a solid 8 out of 10, 8.5. I think 8.5 is fair. It's its own animal. Yeah. Like it's not any other book. Like the panels are different. The dialogue is a little bit different. It's just the delivery is different. But as it is, it's awesome. 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I would definitely give it an 8.5 as well. It's one of those things that's just like 8.5 as issue 1, but we'll probably rate the whole series as a whole towards the end. But yeah, definitely a solid 8.5 for me. Not just for the writing, because it gets you sucked in, but the artwork, even if you didn't have any voice bubbles, the artwork alone literally tells a story. And that's what's important as an artist, is to make sure that you're always able to draw something that's telling a story. Oh, I think Jason broke up.
Oh, hey, sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
That's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, you were frozen in time.
What did I miss?
I was just saying, the artwork alone, even if it had no voice bubbles, was literally telling a story. Like you could tell solid, what was going on.
Yep. Yeah, without question. It was an awesome book. It was an awesome book. But no, it's like this was a fun style of writing too. It's not a style like it would be a curious way to write a book. And I think it came off awesome. I think Jon Colunga did an awesome job with it.
And I'm not saying that it's similar, but the artwork, it's creepy, and it has like that child element to it as well. Like I could see this being like a rated R version of a Tim Burton universe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it totally had a Edward Scissorhands vibe, 1,000%. Yeah. No, it was a good book. Edward Scissorhands, a little bit of Beetlejuice in there. Like,
I was thinking more of the Corpse Bride and Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yep. There was a animated short on YouTube way back. Well, I shouldn't say way back. It was in the 2000s. Called I think it was called I Pet Goat, and it was computer animated, but it looked very similar to this in parts. It was, it's just this is a style of horror. Like this is a definite horror style book, but no, very well done.
Yeah. Well, we're pretty much at like 28 minutes. You want to say anything else before we get off here? I mean, sorry guys, it's a short episode, but it's one of those things that I recommend people to go out and buy, because we just topped the whole book as much as we can without giving so much away.
Yo, no, A+ book. I would like for y'all to go buy my mini comics and follow me on Instagram. I definitely want to get to 1,000, Ronnie. Like I want to get to 1,000. I'm a little bit over 500 right now. I'm also kind of curious about this YouTube thing. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
For people that don't know, StreamYard just announced host properties. So I'm making Jason a admin. So I'm gonna be going on vacation soon, and if Jason, if he has the time and he wants to make some shows while I'm on vacation, he has the permission to do that. So I'm trying to help him set up with that, because even though this is Crimson Owl Comics, but this is Comics de la Muerte every Thursday, and he is a host just as much as I am, and he brings a lot to this table.
Hey man, I'm just trying to keep up. I know I talk a lot.
I know, but you bring that writer mindset.
I try to.
And you're a great co-host.
Thanks, Holmes.
And
but
also,
I think I might try to do. I think I might try to do one while you're while you're out of town. Try to keep the Comics de la Muerte name alive for a couple weeks.
Yeah, and also if you guys haven't, go check out the Artcasters 300th episode, because 300 episodes is a lot, and I hope one day me and Jason could reach that milestone. That would be great. And
we got many more left. We only got like 100
right
240 something like that.
And I don't know if you've seen it, Jason, but Corey Kerr, he's not much of a horror fan, but what he said about our show, I really appreciate and like.
Yeah, I thought that was really nice. I did see that. Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, where he's like, I'm not. I can't remember the exact words, but he's like, I'm not much of a horror fan, but when you watch these guys, the passion that they have for horror is so inspiring and so like energetic. Like it makes you want to go out and watch a bunch of horror movies. And I appreciate that because that's what I want to do. I want to get people to love like this horror genre.
I just want to scare the shit out of people.
Right?
No, it's also like, this has been a fun ride. Like, y'all, for real, I didn't know a ton about horror before I started on this show. Like, this is all kind of new to me. And it's like, with Ronnie's suggestions and now, me like learning what I enjoy with horror. Like, I think that it kind of gives us a whole different dimension because Ronnie has volumes of knowledge of like all these different horror genres. But like, to be honest, like I overanalyze a lot of like newer horror. And it gives me and Ronnie like two very different opinions that aren't like against each other. They're just super different. I don't know. I just think it's fun. And we also tell different stories too. Like this is a Vengeful Heart that Ronnie's doing on Tapas. And
I wanted to show people, how we
it's
were
always
talking about
pretty
color. The characters themselves are like gray, black, and white, but the backgrounds are color. But it just makes the images pop. At first I wasn't going to go with that, but I thought it just makes it look so much better that way.
Yeah. So hold on, I'm gonna do a screen share too. Ronnie, the Wu-Tang Clan used to talk about each one always wanting to have, like, they worked as a team, but everybody wanted the best verse on the record. And if you go show your horror, I would show a little bit of what me and Aaron did with horror. And this is like the mini comic bundles website. Like, we're almost done. Like, bundle 11 is coming out. There's a few new little things on the site, though. You can read one of our like straight up horror stories. They're all kind of a little bit scary, but this one is called The Drive-In. Again, all black and white, but and the stories are so short. I don't want to go into a bunch of them, but I will show Aaron's artwork because I think that Aaron and I can tell a very, very scary story together. And it's definitely worth a couple of rounds of $5 to get a few of these in your hands. But no, go on minicomicbundles.com and we got this story. We have two other stories that you can read. One is part of one of our 6-part series called Hourglass. And that one's available to read. It was kind of now I thought I was wearing a hat. I was gonna say, you talking about me? No, you're talking about Ronnie's book. No, just horror. I love the world of horror. I love what me and Aaron did with it. I think that there's a lot. I think we offered a lot in the minis, and I think we offered it in a very unique way, and I'm very, very proud of it. I think we did pretty damn good. Yeah,
for sure. You guys did amazing. All right, well,
thanks,
that's our review. That's our review for issue 1 and promoting our stuff. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah,
and
Fall Breaker to 1,000, y'all. Let's go. I want 1,000 Instagrammers.
Yeah. All right. Night, everybody. Bye.
Night, y'all.